Hello everybody, welcome back to Waffles RC. It has been a few weeks since I've actually done anything with an RC. So we're going to finish this boat. So if you're just tuning into this channel, I'm making a boat out of metal. And it's going quite well. But the next steps that we have to do is I need to get all the weight on this thing. So that way, this center section that I have here for the actual flotation, which I just realized you can't see, I need to get it in place, welded in, so that way I can then put everything on it and actually finish this boat. So first things first, let me show you what I have done off camera basically when I was sick. So here is our boat out of metal, making it look like a pontoon boat, so the water level is going to be right along here. As you can see, we have an outboard motor. I have it mounted, but I need to figure out steering, but I can't do that until, once again, I have all the weight in it to get this adjusted, which that clamp right there is removable to adjust it to where I need it. So all I've done is the motor. So now basically, I'm going to take all the stuff that I have for it, put it on, put it in our very fancy $10 flotation testing facility, and get everything adjusted and make it permanent. So I'll be right back when I show you what's happened. Okay, so what I have done so far is put these struts here to make that part of the roof sturdy. And of course, we have some handrails. Gotta have handrails. Not gonna have them on the back, so whoever's back there will just fall in. Remember, scale points. That's what we're going for. Anyhow, now I have those pieces on. It's part of the weight that needs to be on there. So now I need to get all the stuff that needs to be in here and get our pool floated up. Or floated. You don't float a pool, you fill a pool. Anyhow, I'm going to get all the stuff together. I'm going to do it off camera because there's certain aspects of this that I want to be a surprise for the end. So I'm going to fill that with water, float this thing, adjust it, get it where I need to, weld it, and then the real party starts. There it is. So a few things have changed. I adjusted the inside float area to counteract all the weight, which is why it's, there's more weight in the back than there is in the front. And as you can see, I had to make some additions. That's because it wanted to fall over. It's a little top heavy being made out of metal. But these helped with the stability, and they're under the water, so it helps with the flotation and it helps with stability of rocking back and forth. So hopefully it won't tip over too much. So now I get to go through the fun of welding all of this up, trying to seal it and waterproof it, because right now it's kind of not waterproof. But we will get there. So let's get to trimming. Gotta cut this down, trim this down, weld everything in there, and then just start assembling. But it's going to be a lot of welding for a little bit. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, well, those who fabricate will understand this. I got carried away, but what we have is I gave up trying to weld any of this and put silicone. Same back there, because I kept testing it in the water and it kept having small little pinholes. and I kept trying to weld it, and I was getting irritated. So it clicked in my head, and I remembered I was going to silicone that so I wouldn't have to worry about that. So now what I've been doing, because I got carried away, is I made the front deck. Now it's not super fancy, but I am making it removable. Once again, this is like redneck paradise houseboat kind of thing. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be super crazy. It's just going to be fun. Now I have to make the back deck and then start doing all the stuff for the electronics, because I want to elevate them up so when water does get in this thing, because it will, the electronics will then be elevated up just a little bit, enough so that way it can still play in the water and have fun while it takes on water. That's all you can really do with these boats, especially when you're making it from scrap metal and hoping that it doesn't flip over and then immediately sink and then you lose it at the bottom of a lake. That's probably, hopefully not, but it's a possibility that that's going to happen to this. So let me get that rear deck on, and then I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do the whole electronic platforms and battery platform and just all that stuff, because I'm guessing my way through all of this. Okay, here is the rear deck lid. There are holes in it to mount it to tabs that are down there. And before anybody questions the motives of adding all this extra weight, I put all this stuff on it when I originally did the float test without you guys seeing, with all the stuff that was going on it, plus some extra stuff just to add the weight for like all the tabs that I'm going to be making, stuff like that. So rest assured, I have experimented this good enough. So let's move on. So you see that there's a servo right there. That's to turn our outboard motor. There's really no good place of putting it. So pretty much the rear deck is going to be a no-go for any visitors. Parties on the front deck. Back deck is business. Stay away. You'll get hurt. That is what's going to happen. I'm finally going to use those weird tabs that come with all these servos, because I actually need it for this motor. So I drilled the holes, got everything mounted. So now I'm going to, honestly, all I'm going to do to keep everything up is I'm going to take some sheet metal, bend it, and then weld it to the bottom of the boat. Just, maybe an inch off the bottom, just enough to keep it off of the bottom for when water comes in here, like I explained earlier. So let me make a couple of these, tack them in here, because that's all it's going to need. And then essentially that'll be the electronics of this thing. Then we can test it. I can't put it in the water because the silicone's still drying, so that'll ruin it. I'll put it in the water tomorrow, but I can test to see if everything works. But I do have plans for after we test to make sure stuff works, if I'm able to. We need to make a trailer. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully in this video, at least I can get one started. That's the hope. So be right back, and you will see mounts for a battery and electronics. Maybe. Guess I don't need to show the whole boat. It's only the backside that really matters. So we have turning. Nothing's fully bolted down, but it turns. It's a bit fast, but that's fine. We have a whole lot of forward, faster than this boat is ever going to go. Basically, this just needs to be painted and put all together, but I want to float it and make sure that it floats. Electronics wise, that's it. There's not a whole lot to this boat, thankfully. So I have that plate down there, cut some slots right here so that way I can run a Velcro strap for the said battery, and everything is up off of the bottom. That fell off. But now that silicone needs to dry so we can do a proper float and drive tomorrow. I do need to start working on the trailer for this thing. But first, since the beginning of this channel, I have had this grinder. I've actually had this grinder for probably like 5 years. It just broke. So no more of this, which sucks because that's the powerful one. So we have to do it with this thing, which sucks. But we should be able to make it work, hopefully. Let's clear everything off of here, disconnect this battery, and start making a trailer. Okay, so now I'm going to start the trailer. Won't be able to finish it in this video, but we're going to start it. We have our boat dimensions, but we don't need the boat right now. We will get to said boat in just a moment. So here I have my trusty 14th scale trailer non-drive axles. They are the widest ones that I can find on the Amazon, and they're the same essential axles that I have on every single one of my trailers. So if you know something's good, use it. I'll put a link down in the description below because I do like these things. I've never had a single issue with any of them. This is going to be, I know I'm holding two, but trust me, it's going to be a 3-axle trailer because it's a big boat. We need to lay out our main basic frame to be able to mount our axles to it, and then we can build off of that to hold the boat, because that's how most boat trailers are made. You have a basic frame, axles, and then you customize it to the boat that it's going to carry. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get some metal out and put a charged battery in this thing. Meh. All right, so as you can see, we have the basic layout. I went with these quite cheap. They look like show-off trailer wheels, so that's why I went with them. Mainly they were cheap. The key here is to build the frame basically inside of the wheels, because I am going to have these wheels able to travel up and down. I don't fix the axles straight onto the frame. It just, when you're going over bumps and stuff, like it seems like only one axle is really holding all the weight at all the time, which is still the same, but at least when the suspension drops or it goes over a bump, the axles will drop. It looks more realistic. And remember, we're all about scale points and realism here, like a gigantic metal boat. Anyhow, this is how I start out my basic trailers. I have this at the end, I have this all the way over here, but I don't have it at the end because, like a normal trailer, I'm going to section it off and bring them in together to make the tongue of the trailer. And then I have to figure out a way to mount these axles. I think we may be building the trailer to fit the boat and then doing this because I need a better cutoff wheel. So since I need a better cutoff wheel, let's tack this thing up, get some guesstimations basically, and then I'll cut some notches out of these. Actually, let's be smart about this. I'm going to cut the notches out first, then tack it together when I can bring that two ends to bring it to a point for the tongue. I'll wait till that is done. Yeah. Cut the notches, then tack everything all at once. Ready, set, go. Okay. Well, we do have the base of our trailer, but surprise, surprise, my other grinder died. And not just the battery, the whole thing's just conked out. So I guess we're gonna have to call it there. Not super happy with that, but we got the boat working. So I'll actually cut to a shot right now that I'm going to do tomorrow morning of it in the water driving. All right, all metal boat. First test drive. Well, she drives. Don't have a lot of room for maneuverability in here, but it moves. Definitely going to have some waterproofing to do yet still, but it certainly works. And I got to work on that reverse still. But that is a boat made out of metal that runs and drives. This is so awesome. Metal boat for the win. Now I hope that actually went through, but you know, movie magic, sometimes things go wrong. Or it sank, or who knows. Anyhow, so we're gonna call it there. I'm glad that we made that much progress on the boat. It's been bugging me for the last couple of weeks, so I'm glad I got out here and did this stuff. So thank you all very much for watching. We will continue with the trailer and the boat. The boat's almost done, honestly. I just have to put all the stuff on, but I got to paint it first. So that'll get painted while we work on said trailer. If you'd like to help support the channel in any way possible, we do sell merch. I know I only wear a hat, but that's because I like hats. We have a bunch of stuff on there, and it all goes to straight into these builds. So any help will be greatly appreciated. Get you some good quality merchandise. I'm still coming up with a better shirt, so I will get that done, I promise. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week.